So welcome everyone, and thanks again for joining me today. Let's get started with our basic warm-ups if you haven't already started them. So feet shoulder width parallel, toes directly forwards, knees softened, and just relax down across your shoulders, soft into your arms, into your hands, and through your fingers as well. So just taking your awareness through your body, from the crown of your head down to the soles of your feet. And also being aware of your breath, breathing in and breathing out through your nose, sensing the expansion of your body with each in-breath, and that sense of release, letting go. Each time you exhale, softening, releasing, using that out-breath as an opportunity to let go. And then we'll gently bring movement from the center. So turning your center, allowing your arms to pick up that movement and open to the side. So they're just responding to the turn of the center of the body, opening out to the sides. And that good twisting movement through your spine, through your upper body, from your center. And just in your lower body, try to make sure that your knees don't collapse inwards. So this first warm-up gets us into that sense of remaining in that healthy posture with the knees directly over the toes, not twisting inwards. Okay, that's great. And as we come out of that movement, let's take the palms to the lower back, circle and loosen off through the hips, through the lower back area. It's useful having the hands supporting that area. It just takes our awareness to the back of the body. And then just circle the other way. Freeing off around the hip area. And coming back to the center. So once again, soft and relax through your knees, relax across your shoulders. And let's think about this neck shoulder area now. So somewhere I would say almost everyone needs to release tension. We'll let the chin drop down. So chin's dropping towards the chest, stretching out gently through your neck, and then rolling your chin from shoulder to shoulder. Letting go as much as you can through the neck area. And then slowly uncurling. So your head's level, your shoulders are relaxed. And with the breath now, drawing your shoulders up as you breathe in. Releasing and softening as you breathe out. Allowing the shoulders to melt and to draw down as far as you can. So as much release as you can through your shoulders. Continuing with your breath to draw up with the in-breath, to release and let go as you exhale, shoulders dropping down. Melting and softening. One more time. Releasing, letting go. As we bring the fingers onto the collarbone and continue circling the elbows. So drawing up, in and down. Opening out and drawing the elbows together. And then we'll circle the other way. Up, opening out, elbows down. Circling the elbows. And then just let your arms drop down to your sides, have a bit of a shakedown, and we'll bring our feet together, take our hands together, drawing up the midline. So as we breathe in, palms up towards the ceiling, and as we breathe out, releasing out of that stretch, opening to the side, stretching into your fingers, drawing your arms back, and releasing, coming out of that stretch. Pressing down through your palms, lifting onto your toes. And letting go, we step out, the hands linked together, drawing up, stretching through your palms into your back as well. So into the middle part of the back, arching outwards, back in again, and letting go. So feet together, hands together as we breathe in, stretching up. And as we breathe out, releasing out of the stretch, opening to the sides, drawing that stretch into your fingers and back, and letting go, pressing down through your palms, lifting to your toes, and releasing, stepping out, our hands linking together, drawing the palms up, stretching out through the palms into the middle of the back. In again, and then stepping in. So just taking the focus down to your feet now, resting your palms above your knees. So with this one, just doing it if you're comfortable with this forward bend. If it's difficult for your back, then just leave it out. But we can still take the focus to the soles of the feet. Rocking over the soles of the feet. So bringing the weight to your heels and then forwards to your toes. Strong focus down into the soles. And just keep that going, slowly coming up again when you're ready. Slowly onto your toes and then back to your heels and then back up slowly, coming out of that movement, and have a good shake out. Okay, that's great. Let's come into our basic stance again now then. So the feet shoulder width and parallel, toes directly forward. We're just softening the knees, taking real care not to let the knees collapse. So we can make that a real focus of our practice today. When we lose our knee alignment and let the knees collapse inwards, we put pressure through the knee joint. So the knee joint is supposed to work in one direction, straight forwards and back, and when we even bring a slight twist through the knee, it puts strain through the knee joint, and that over time isn't great for our knees. And if we practice our Qigong and our Tai Chi with the correct alignment, it's actually really strengthening and good for the knees. Quite a subtle way, because we're doing that small lift and that small release, and it really, really strengthens all the muscles around the lower and the upper and lower legs, and yeah, generally it's good for knee stability and knee health. But we do need to be aware of not letting the knees collapse inwards. So coming into that more seated posture again, releasing down, aware of this lumbar area of the spine, the tailbone dropping down towards the ground. Relaxed around your shoulders, your chin drawn back, your head level. So think about the back of the neck being aligned right up to the crown of your head, as though you're suspended by a golden thread, light and relaxed. So strongly aware of your breath now, breathing in and breathing out through your nose, sensing the expansion of your body each time you inhale, and that sense of release, letting go each time you exhale. Lifting your palms to waist height, so soft, relaxed, open through the palms. Aware of the center of the palm, the Lao Gong point, the center of the palm. Any sensations around the center of the palm, And as you start with your in-breath, gently rising and your hands following, lifting to shoulder height, and then softening, releasing your palms, dropping to waist height. Continuing to rise with your in-breath, to soften and let go with your out-breath. Keeping that going with your breath. So we talk about the breath leading the movement. And that means that, obviously, that means what it says really. The breath comes first, the movement follows. Rather than kind of trying to fit our breath around the movement, we let our natural breath lead and we follow with the movement. Let's open this out now into opening the chest. So continuing to rise with the in-breath. Open and just lightly tilt forward as you breathe out. Closing as you take your in-breath, turning and settling as you exhale, palms dropping down. Continuing with the breath now to rise up, to open out, to close, and then soften and sink down with the out breath. And then our palms dropping down to the sides of the body, just allowing a moment to have that focus through your body, through your hands, through your fingers, your awareness with your breath. And then slightly widening your stance, so just slightly wider than shoulder width. Slightly wider than shoulder width. Coming into rainbow dance, so we widen out. Take one hand above the crown of the head, the other hand is at eye level. We're just looking into the center of the palm and shifting our weight. Breathing in to one side and breathing out to the other side. Excuse me, just keep that movement going. Keeping going, shifting the weight, remembering your knee alignment. So keeping your knee over your foot. So even when you're turning your body, try not to twist your knee. We're actually just turning the head, just gently turning from one side to the other. And we're making eye contact with the Laogong point, so with the center of the palm. And the other palm comes above the crown of the head, where there's another really important acupoint right on top of the head, making an energetic connection between the two. Coming back, opening out, palms turning in towards the lower dantian. So palms one over the other, facing in towards the belly, and drawing up the midline as you take your breath in, opening, separating, softening and sinking down as you take your breath out. Continuing with that breath to draw up with the in-breath, open and let go with your out-breath. And then our palms coming one on top of the other. So palm over palm, moving into repulsor monkey, turning to the corner, lifting both arms, the backhand dropping in and forwards with the out breath, palms passing each other, breathing in to the corner and breathing out as you face forwards. And keeping that movement going with your breath. And then both hands dropping to the side. So palms facing out for rowing the boat. Feet still just as they were, shoulder width, knees over your feet. So maintaining that alignment as you circle up with your breath in, hands either side of your head. Forwards, back up, turn your hands, soften your knees with your out breath. Circling up as you take your breath in, forwards, back up, turn the hands, soften down through your knees with the out breath. And just keeping that going. A strong focus on your out breath. Circling up. And then forwards, back up. Turn the hands, soften your knees with the out breath. Palms drop to the side. We turn one foot to the corner and shift the weight, lifting the ball. Breathing in to one side, breathing out to the other side, shifting your weight, turning your body, and just going with your breath. Okay, so just check for yourself, looking at the screen, some people are the wrong way. If you're turning to the left, it's the right hand that we lift, and vice versa. Shifting the weight, breathing in, breathing out to the other side, and just keeping that movement smooth and continuous. Moving now into turning to look at the moon, holding the space between your hands. And with this one, we aim to turn a little further. So there's a nice, almost a stretch through the body, through the rib cage. And in turn, that's really good for the lungs. We bring that light stretch through the rib cage. Our focus on the space between the hands, so that connection that we're making. Keep your shoulders down. As we come back to the center and draw our feet back under the shoulders and our palms rest now at waist height, so palms one over the other. And we're gently turning the center now, opening to the corner with the out breath, with the in breath facing forward. So turning and opening out to the corner as you take your out breath, facing forwards with your in breath. Now as you face forward, one palm opposite the chest, one opposite the lower dantian, so palms facing in, the cloud hands, turning in the direction of the uppermost palm, swapping the hands over. So palms are facing in, as you face forwards, palms turn to face each other to the corner. Keeping that movement going with the turn of the center. So I'm just checking in, just having a quick look. Looks good. Always turning in the direction of the uppermost palm. And then we swap to the corner. So I'll just turn around, although you can't see my hand, you can see the uppermost hand. It turns and drops. When I have my right hand on top, I'm turning to the right, and vice versa, turning, leading the movement from the center. There's a sense of just holding your arms really lightly, just allowing them to respond to the turn of the body. Okay, that's great. Coming out of that movement, just have a little shake down through your arms, wrists, and ankles as well. So this one, the cloud hands movement, is a really nice one to do in its own right. So really nice to do in the evening particularly. It's very quietening and calming for the mind. Almost a hypnotic exercise to do. So once you've got the movement, and you've got the timing, it really is, the timing of the movement. There's no fixed pattern of breath, you just allow your breath to continue. Only danger is you might hold your breath, but just keep that breath flowing, keep the movement flowing, and it's quite a nice one to do for a period of time in its own right. It can really help to settle and calm the mind. For example, if you're having trouble sleeping or something like that, where you just feel like you need that little bit of quiet in the day. Let's change our lower body stance now. So we're taking one foot back, the other foot directly forward in bow stance in the lower body, allowing width in the stance. So we don't want to be like we're on a tightrope. We want to be like the feet are on train tracks, so one on each track, maintaining our stability, Back foot is about 45 degrees, front foot directly forwards. So just check the front foot isn't turned out to the corner. Keep that front foot directly forwards. And then let's take the weight into the back leg. And as we do that, we raise the toes of the front foot. The palms are in front of the shoulders, palms facing out, pushing the weight, rolling forwards with your out breath, sitting back with your in breath. Rolling back as you take your in breath, rolling forwards as you exhale. And we'll swap the feet over. So one foot directly forward, the back foot to the corner. Sitting back, rolling back as you breathe in, rolling forwards as you breathe out. Just keeping the movement going with the breath. It'd be helpful to imagine a piece of elastic between this point here in your hand, so between your thumb and your first finger, there's an important acupoint there, and we're aligning it with a point just under the clavicle here in the lung meridian. And those points stay aligned throughout, like there's a piece of string or elastic between the two. They move slightly further away and then back in towards each other. Okay, let's swap our feet again. So taking the other foot behind again, and this time opening, flying pigeon, opening out as you take your in breath, closing as you take your out breath. And then we'll swap again. So taking the other foot forwards, keeping that movement going. Opening out as you breathe in, closing as you breathe out. Palms in towards each other. Okay, and then stepping up. So I'm just going to show you a different movement now, which is part of the Shi Ba Shi set, but I don't often teach it in my classes. And I think I've said before, the reason I don't teach it is because sometimes people get a little bit dizzy doing this movement. Not usually, but I've had the experience that a few people have. And because I'm only teaching a few movements at the start of the class, I tend to leave this one out. But because we're focused on this set in this class, the Shi Ba Shi first set of Qigong, it feels like it's quite important that we cover this movement, and it's really nice and really beneficial too. Just be careful and take it at your pace. The main reason people sometimes get dizzy is because we're coming forwards and then lifting up. And so if you do have low blood pressure, high blood pressure, or even back problems, then just take it really easy. And there is an alternative. So I'll show you, just watch, because you can't actually do it while you're watching. So watch for a couple of movements and then we'll do it together. We start in our bow stance in the lower body, so the front foot directly forward, back foot to the corner. The weight's in the back leg and the hands are lifted. So they're slightly forwards of the body, weights in the back leg. And then with our out breath, we bend forwards from the hips and the hands come down and they're connecting with an acupoint on the leg, on the stomach meridian that comes down past the knee. It's just below the knee. It's called leg 3-mile point. And it's a really good point for strengthening the lower body and the legs. So the palms come just over that with the out breath, one on top of the other. You can see that. And then with our in breath, we sit back, lift and open. So with all these ones, just take care you don't lean back as you come up. You just come to upright and then we come forwards again. With the out breath coming forwards and with the in breath lifting up. And we're connecting with this point on the stomach meridian, bringing energy down the leg. If it's too much to bend right forwards, then just take your hands higher up on the leg without the forwards bend, because the stomach meridian comes down this part of the leg too. And although we're not connecting directly with that point, we're still connecting with that downward energy of the stomach meridian. So just take your palms to wherever you feel comfortable, okay? So it's called touching the sea, looking at the sky. And although it's called looking at the sky, we don't look right up, we look straight forwards, okay? So start with the weight in the back leg, hands about head height. And then with the breath out, we're bending from the hips, palms coming, if you can, below your knee to the outside of the shin bone, with your in-breath, sitting back, opening out, with your out-breath, coming forwards. And remember to adapt it for you. So if you don't feel good coming right forwards, and don't do that, just take your hands down, just as I'm doing this time, higher up on your leg. And for cherry, it's really good done seated too. You can just take one foot slightly forwards, connect in, and then lift up and open. So just the same. Okay, then we swap our feet over. Just like with all this part of the set, we do it once on one side and then to the other side. Continuing with that same pattern, breathing out as you come forwards, breathing in as you lift and open. And then this time, as we lift up, just bringing your feet back under your shoulders, toes directly forward, shoulders relaxed. Drawing the hands in so we're forming loose fists at hip level. Continuing with the breath, with the out breath, punching forwards. With the in breath, drawing the fist back in towards you. Continuing to focus on connecting the movement with the breath. And then both hands to the sides of the body, flying wild goose, rising up, lifting as you breathe in, softening and sinking down as you let go of your breath. Allowing that wave of movement right out to the fingertips and then back down to the ground as you exhale. Just keep that going with your breath, rising up as you breathe in, softening, sinking down as you breathe out. Okay, letting go. So while I'm showing you some new movements, there's one last movement in this set that I also don't regularly teach, and it's for the same, exactly the same reason as the last one I showed you. It involves a forward bend in the body, and so you just have to take it at your pace. It can be done without the forward bend, so I'll show you both versions, and I trust you to work at a level that feels good for you. And we start by, just watch it the first time because again you can't really follow it when you do it. We start by bending right forwards, letting the arms and letting the head hang, and then we turn. As you lift up, the arms lift up with the body, and we turn, and the arms drop down. And we're breathing in, as we lift on one side, and breathing out as we turn and drop down on the other side. Okay, so we'll do that together in a minute, but let me just show you the alternative, which is to keep the body completely upright, still turn from the center, and let the arms follow the movement, lifting, coming back up, and then down with the turn of the center. So do whichever version suits you best. You might want to start with the upright version today, and then maybe try it with the forward bend. But listen to your body. Any lower back trouble, or if it doesn't feel good for your body, then either leave it out or do the version where you're standing upright. Okay, so we do it one way and then we do it the other way. So we do it 3 times in one direction and 3 times in the other direction. So first of all, just if you are going to bend forward, slowly bending forward, letting your arms, letting your head hang, connecting in with the center of the body. So really important, we move from the center, turn and lift up with our in-breath, turn and drop down with our out-breath. I've lost count already, but I think that's probably 3 or maybe 4. So with your arms hanging, your head hanging, you just pause and then turn the other way, lifting up, turning and dropping down. Once we finish this circle, just finish with your arms and your head hanging. And then soften through your knees slightly and begin uncurling, like you're uncurling against a wall. Releasing your shoulders and letting go into your upper body. Okay. And let's just move straight into marching, bouncing a ball, lightly taking your foot down, placing the foot lightly. And then the opposite hand and foot. So lifting the opposite hand and foot, like there's a string between the two. And this movement can be done more quickly or it can be done really slowly. One works more on our coordination and the other works more with our stability. And then the same hand and foot together twice. 1, 2. And the opposite hand and foot twice. Okay, good. Let's finish with the feet back under the shoulders. For our 2 centering exercises, our focus coming to the central area of the body, to the lower dantian, palms are facing up. And we draw the hands up through the midline with the breath in, lifting your heels to, turning and settling with the breath out, palms dropping down. Keeping that going with your breath. And then opening out to the sides, drawing in and down as you breathe out, down the midline of the body, keeping that going, opening as you take your in-breath, drawing in and down as you take your out-breath. And then our palms connecting in to the lower dantian, one palm over the other, breathing into that space under your hands. And we'll just move our palms, finish by rubbing the hands together between the fingers, back of the hands, around your wrist. And then shaking out through your shoulders, down your arms, and down to your ankles and feet. Okay, great, well done. So that's the movement part of the class over. That's the whole of the Shi Ba Shi set, the first Shi Ba Shi set of Qigong. That other movement I taught you, I didn't say the name of it, so it's called turning the body like a wheel. Let me know how you found them and if you enjoyed those extra 2 movements today. Let's find a seat though now, to have a bit of water if you need to, and then find a seat or lie down, whatever you feel comfortable doing for our meditation. So just getting comfortable. Most important thing is just to keep your legs uncrossed, so both feet flat on the floor if you can. Having an awareness of your spine, so spine nice and upright. We can still be relaxed, but without kind of slumping back in the chair. So nice and long through your spine, right up to the crown of your head, having that awareness. And as you gently close your eyes, Just allowing that to be a cue to calm and settle your mind. Drawing your full awareness to your breath now. Sensing the breath in your nostrils. Sensing the expansion of your chest as you breathe in. And the sense of release with each out breath. Softening and letting go. Allowing the breath to fill the belly too. So with each breath in, allowing an expansion through your belly. With each breath out, relaxing, softening, letting go. That opportunity to let go physically, mentally, and emotionally with each out breath. Just aiming to keep the mind quiet and settled. If you find yourself thinking about what's to come in the day or what's been in the past, just bring it back to your breath and to the sensations of your body right now. As we take our full focus up to the crown of the head. Allowing a sense of melting, softening through your scalp as you breathe out. Smoothing out across your brow, softening around your eyes. Releasing and letting go through your jaw, your throat. That sensation of melting, creating release through your neck, spreading out across your shoulders, around your shoulder blades, through the shoulder joints, with each out breath, letting go. Releasing through your upper arms, the upper arms feeling heavier as you let go. Down through your elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, and fingers. Soft and open, relaxed and at ease. Your awareness right to the tip of each finger. And taking some focus now to the back of your body. your upper back responding to your breath, expanding with each in-breath, releasing and letting go with each out-breath, letting go of that whole upper back area, that sensation of melting, traveling down through the mid part of your back, down into the lumbar, into the sacrum. Just spending some time here with the breath, focused on letting go, releasing as much as you can. And aware of your chest now, expanding with each in-breath, softening each time you exhale, softening and letting go. Through your rib cage, around your heart, down through your diaphragm, a sense of release, letting go of any tension, any holding, anything that we don't need. As your focus drops down into your belly gently continuing to respond to your breath, expanding with each in-breath, softening, letting go with each out-breath. As we continue now to allow our focus to drop down from the belly into the pelvis, spreading down through your hip joints, into your legs, your thighs, melting, softening, releasing. Our awareness through the knees, down into the lower legs, calf muscles, ankles, feet and toes, resting onto the ground. Relaxed and at ease. Just aware of each one of your toes. And let's sit just for a moment longer now. The focus spreading back to the whole of the body and to the breath. Experiencing the expansion of your body that comes with each in-breath. Connecting with the sense of release that the out breath brings. And slowly expanding and opening your awareness to the surroundings. Just making small movements, encouraging you back to focus on the space that you're in. Just bringing your palms together, rubbing your hands together. Making that connection between the palms, taking that up to your face. Cupping over your eyes, sensing that darkness, and then as you slowly draw your fingers down, opening your eyes, allowing it a little light at a time, slowly adjusting to your surroundings again, and feeling fully present, alert to the surroundings. Bringing your fingers up to your brow as you smooth out across the brow, circle around your temples. And if you're still awake, pressing into your jaw, squeezing around your ears, and then down the back of your neck, just squeezing through the back of your neck. And out across your shoulders, so squeezing over the back of your shoulders. You might want to continue with this after the class, just working into any areas that feel tighter over your upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, and fingers. And then sweeping down over your wrists, hands, and fingers. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So squeezing out across your shoulders, down your arm. And forearms, wrists, hands, fingers. So as you're squeezing down your arm, so I'll just tell you a little bit about the meridians that run down your arm. I won't go into detail today because we've run out of time really, but you might feel certain areas that really feel good when you press into them. And that's what I sort of work on in my shiatsu practice, just working into those areas that either are full and stagnant, call it stagnant chi, or are lacking chi and they need a bit of attention. And you can generally feel that in your own body, and can do a little bit of self-massage or self-shiatsu, just pressing into those areas that feel like they really need it. Obviously on a less energetic, more physical level, we're working into the muscles as well. And yeah, so bringing benefit from both perspectives. Let's just finish rubbing the fingers together. So perhaps another time I'll talk you through a little bit more about the meridians, and you might be able to feel which ones feel more tender to you in your body. And yeah, I can talk about why that might be. So I better leave it for today though. Let's finish with an open left palm and right fist, bringing the two together. So the left palm representing the heart and the mind, the right palm, the chi, just as a mark of respect for each other and for our practice. Thank you for coming, everyone. And if you're not here live, thank you for watching the recording. I'm here next Sunday, so I hope to see you then. And if you're coming on Tuesday, it'd be great to see you then as well. Okay, I'll come and unmute you all and say goodbye again.